Good morning, and welcome to the 445 Productive Through Joy Show with your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher. The show airs each weekday morning, hella early at 4:45 a.m. here on YouTube's Michael Datcher channel, then 4:45 p.m. on Facebook Live. Today we're talking about breath work. People don't typically associate work, breathing with work, unless they're heavy breathing, which is a suggestion of work, but that's a different type of work, I'm sure. Instead, it's the focus on the following of the breath, being mindful in the breathing, which is work. But once you begin to make that work a lifestyle, a work of joy, a labor of love, it can absolutely will transform your life. So thanks for being here. If you're new, you can go to the 445, no, to productivethroughjoy.com to see about us. We speak to groups, schools, and organizations about being productive through joy. A really great series of workshops, webinars, and other great services designed to really enhance one's productivity. Our tagline is human productivity for a more humane planet, and that says it all about us. So thanks for being here. I should also say a few words about myself. This is your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher, author of the New York Times bestseller Raising Fences, author of the acclaimed historical novel Americus, author of the Pulitzer Prize nominated Animating Black and Brown Liberation, a Theory of American Literature's board president of the great nonprofit here in Los Angeles' Crenshaw District, the World Stage. My educational background is UC Berkeley as an undergrad, master's, UCLA, PhD in English literature from the University of California at Riverside. Guys, I'm an expert at being productive. I don't say that to brag or boast. I say it because people are almost always surprised to hear about that level of productivity, given how crazy my own personal narrative is. I am the product of a young girl at the time, who was sexually assaulted. As a result of that assault, I was born and given up for adoption at the age of a month to an amazing single divorcee, yet at the time, no biological father, no adopted father. Difficult times for the young MD, yet as cool. Modi famously said, you like me now. And if I can be this productive and be so through joy, I know many people in a very similar way can be productive as well, which really inspires this show because we know it's not where you're from, it's where you're about to go. So thank you for joining us today. So we're talking, guys, today about the ideal of breath work. And point one is that you want to do some due diligence about the breath and breathing. Since meditation has kind of made its way here to the West as a thing. I'm thinking about my daughter's school as a sidebar now has a mindfulness program where the kids are helped focus on their breathing, which is really so cutting edge. I mean, so necessary and so smart. And that should be mandatory for all children, but that's just a sidebar. And also being entrepreneurs should be mandatory for all educational systems, but that's a different story. But they're both related. That's a crazy little sidebar there. But so just to learn more about meditation, because at its core, meditation is about breath work, following the breath. There's many different types of meditations. My style is ancient Egyptian. We call it Kemetic. They call the land Kemet, or KMT is how it translates or transliterates. So it's the name or land of the blacks. So we call it in today's world Kemetic. We add those vowels. There were no vowels in that particular language. So we call ancient Egypt Kemet. And this approach, Kemetic, this ancient Egyptian approach, is probably the oldest that I know of that's recorded in print. But whatever the case, there's many other powerful ways as well. That's step one. I would do that if I were you. Just learn about meditation, right? And point two, say if you choose not to do that, if you choose, I'm not listening to that. What I would say then is begin to know that through your breathing, we call it breath work, which is being mindful of your breath, almost like being a person sitting on your own shoulder, watching yourself breathe in a short breath, exhale a short breath, breathe in a long breath, exhale a long breath. I know it seems weird right now, but that's one effective strategy to begin. It's just to literally just become conscious of that level of your breathing. What it does is that it makes you two things. It makes you have more oxygen, which is what gives you life, but also because you're able to develop a habit and a skill set of breathing in deeply, which is really important. And then also it makes you, when you are mindful of your breathing, it makes you stay in the moment because you cannot breathe in the past. Go ahead and just try it right now. Try to take a breath in the past right now. Nor can you breathe in the future. Give it a try right now. Try to breathe in the future. You can't do it, right? You can only breathe in the present moment. And I'm sure you've heard about this present moment thing, because if you aren't even into meditation, because it's now a part of pop culture. That's important because when you can be, for example, grateful in the present moment, like of being able to, about being able to see, being able to hear, about your kids, about whatever you are grateful for, you are then able to focus your attention on what's happening right now and embracing what's happening right now. Here's the hard part: even when it's things that you don't actually want to be happening right now, which if you know this show, I've been sharing about some things I've been going through lately. Last few years, pretty extraordinary, involving some betrayal of people close to me, which is the worst type of pain. When people who you know, who are close to you, stab you in the back, it's the worst. But even through those difficult times, being able to be fully in it and learn in it, grow in it, and deal with yourself. And how much better it is when things are going great, So that is the idea behind that. The focus, the mindful breathing. What it does is it just adds a heightened level of joy, even during times of challenge, like I've been going through the last few years, just because, as I said before. So, listen, if you can get a handle on that, trust me, that's going to transform your life, because everyone goes through challenging times. I've had mine. Everyone goes through theirs. That's just, we call that life. And then also, everyone can also go through good times. And I just had the song "Good Times" in my mind just now. Ain't we lucky we got? When you are able to focus on your breath, what you'll be able to do then is make the most of the present moment. Then you string together a bunch of present moments, and life is pretty damn good, which goes right into point 3. That's what leads to productivity, because you begin to separate yourself from defining your joyfulness or your happiness or whatever you're going through based upon outside circumstances, because you appreciate the good times. Let me tell you, no doubt. And you deal with the times that are challenging. You have to, that's part of life. So we're not saying don't handle business. We're not saying, don't be realistic, or we're not saying don't be in the world. But what I am saying is don't allow the world, the external reality, define your level of joy. Because you're still alive, you're still breathing, you still can see, you still can hear, you still got your kids, the things that are truly important. Then we need to work through those issues and get through what needs to be gotten through, for sure. But at the core, when your set point is joy, for example, and gratitude, it allows you to get through those things that need to be gotten through with a lot more efficacy and power and productivity. Because as we know, when you're feeling down, I'll speak for myself, when I'm feeling down, depressed, sad, it's hard to even get out of bed, However, in contradistinction, when I'm feeling great, feeling energized, I have the energy to go do what needs to be done and actually enjoy it. So, boom, goes the dynamite. Thanks for being here, guys. We'll see you this afternoon at 4:45 p.m. Until then, let's talk about it and be about it. Deuces.